I have no silver, no diamonds or gold, but I am far richer by the visions I hold. 'Cause I've seen the mountains and I've seen the sea. I've seen all that beauty and lived a life that was free. When the cool autumn moonlight shines down through the trees, no place under heaven would I rather be, where the wild birds are flying and the caribou roam. Many places I've rambled, but this is my home. And when I am weary and it's time to rest, please take this old body to the place I love best, somewhere on that mountain. Turn my face to the sea and let the wind in the treetops sing me to sleep. 'Cause I've seen those mountains, I've been to the sea, and all of that beauty is like heaven to me. Where the wild birds are flying and the caribou roam. Many places I've rambled, but this is my home, where the wild birds are flying and the caribou roam. Many places I've rambled, but this is my home.
Good evening and welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight in our stories we have Hockey Tournament, Internet Scams, Principals Report. Please stay tuned for these stories after this.
The more I search for my significance, seems the more I disappear. And I wonder, have I made a difference in anybody's life since I've been here? But I can hear your laughter, it's the sweetest sound I've ever known. I don't know how love happens, not alone. And I still have faith in you.
Devotion. Pass it on.
Last weekend, the annual Roland Tucker Hockey Tournament took place. 9 teams participated in the tournament, with 4 teams being from Burgeo. 2 of the Burgeo's team, Seaview Shooters and Strange Brew, were in the championship game, with the Seaview Shooters winning 2-0. Ann Bryan and Gary Tucker presented the trophy to the winning team. Congratulations to the men's senior hockey on another successful tournament. RCMP would like to warn the public about a scam affecting many Canadians. The Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre has been receiving reports from Canadians who say that they have been locked out of their computer and received pop-up messages stating that their computer has been frozen by the police for a criminal investigation. In some cases, the pop-up may list specific offenses such as child pornography or illegal music downloading. This message then tells recipients to pay $100 via UCash so their computers can be unlocked. These warnings messages claim to come from the RCMP, but they do not, and it is important that you do not send money. These types of messages, commonly known as scareware, are designed to create such shock and anxiety that victims respond by sending money quickly. Your computer will not be unlocked if you pay the money, and you will not get the money back. If you receive one of these messages, please be aware that it is a scam. These messages are not being issued by the RCMP. If you have been locked out of your computer, it is an indicator that your system may have been infected with malware, and you may need to take steps to address the problem. Fraud. Recognize it, report it, stop it. I went to the school for Mr. Penny to give his principal's report.
A few things we have done since our last interview, and I guess mainly on some things that are coming up over the next little while. Certainly getting close to the end of the school year. I think we're looking at about 3 months in total. And you take out Easter and whatnot, and June is kind of cluing everything up. Very important for the exams and whatnot, but we don't have a lot of class time left for the year. So anyway, some things that has happened since we last chatted. First, I want to thank everyone who brought in some things or helped out in any way with our Teacher Staff Appreciation Week. It was greatly appreciated. Various meals were done that week, and then I guess some goodies were brought in and whatnot. So again, as I said, a big thank you to those who gave up their time or gave up the items during that week. Our last bingo, we had raised $1,205. That was the school bingo, and again, I want to thank everyone who helped out with that. That was a little bit low for what we've seen in past years in our bingo, but we've had a couple of extra bingos this year tied in with the Rec Commission, which we were certainly glad to help out. I was pleased still with the $1,205, and again, that money certainly will be put to use in regards of I guess the things that we use on an everyday basis that's not covered with our instructional budget, and coming up we've got a number of travel for various sporting events that I'll get into in a few minutes in the next month and a half. Also, certainly want to thank those that came out for our carnival. Miss Ann and the grade 5 students put off a carnival for the SPCA. Over $1,000 was raised that day. I believe that includes the bake sale as well, but that's a phenomenal amount of money. And again, all that money will be going to the SPCA. But again, certainly on behalf of the school and the students and the teachers, thank the community for taking of the time coming out and supporting that worthwhile cause. Also, since we last chatted, we've had a Stand Up to Bullying Day. That was a full day put off by the Respect team, as well as a few of the adults in our community. And I certainly want to thank those ladies who came out. I won't say their names, I'm afraid right now I'll probably forget some, but you know who you are. And again, as I said, a big thank you. The day seemed to went very well. I was out of town for meetings on that day, but I've heard nothing but positive results about the day. And I mean, the importance is, again, as it says, stand up to bullying. Because we are a small school, small community, don't mean that we don't have issues of bullying. We certainly do, and we certainly hope that the students learned a lot that day and took that away with them. Also, a few weeks back, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, information was sent home to our students in grades 2, 5, 7 to 12. The 7 to 12, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. It's regarding a school climate survey. Those students did a written copy of the survey in school. That's been done and sent to the Department of Education. The teachers were asked to do an online one. That's been completed. And parents of those students have been asked to do so as well. I made the mistake of sending letters home, or in the process of sending them home to all students about parents doing the surveys, and I hope they didn't go home to the kindergarten grade 1 as well as 3, 4, and 6 classes, because that is not for those parents. But for the other parents, I got notified last week that only just over 9% of the parents did the surveys. At the time of this interview, I also contacted the Department of Education, and we are now at 20%. So I asked for another extension, so we have until Thursday, the 28th of March. And we put information on 62 as well as on Channel 10, and I asked that parents who have not completed their surveys, and certainly if you're watching the interview here tonight, to please do the surveys. It's very important. The information come back to our school. It's on the climate of our school. What is it that you like? What is it you don't like? Here's a chance for you to have a voice. And again, I strongly encourage that parents do that. I'd love to see 100% of our parents to complete the survey. I know it's on, as I said, Channel 10 and I believe 62. If it's a little too fast and you can't get the website, please contact the school. Also check with your child. They were given kind of a letter or whatnot with all the information on that and the website and everything. So I don't think there's any reason it should not be done. If parents do not have access to the internet, they can certainly come into the school and we will find a place to do them. The survey is similar to the one the teachers did, and it takes all of about 5 minutes. It is very short, but as I said again, some very important information to come from that that goes to the Department of Education, and like I said, then they will be forwarding that along to us. So please do so if you haven't done that. I already mentioned about Channel 62. Seems to be some comments around. I don't know how valid they are about not many people watching 62. I can certainly understand, I guess, if you don't have a child in school, but you know, it's a fabulous way for us to get messages across to the community. A lot of things that's coming up in our school, thank yous, whatnot. Again, encourage people to watch Channel 62. You know, it was given to us by BBS, and you know, again, a great tool that it's for the community use. So certainly encourage you to keep an eye out for what we're doing, and again, anything ever comes up, any questions or concerns, even if there's some things you like to see on that channel, that's obviously tied in with the school, we certainly will listen to you, and you know, if it would fit in with our agenda, we would certainly do that. Also, at the beginning of March, this is Nutrition Month. The school board has a nutrition program on the go for the month of March. Information was sent home to all parents on this. That we encourage students after lunch to bring in veggies, fruit that's cut up, whether it's in a little container or a little bag. They are certainly welcome to eat that during class time. Same with kids have always been encouraged to bring water. We ask that it be clear water in a clear water bottle. So don't be bringing in pop, juice, or whatnot. And again, I'm talking here during class time. The report is staggering that less than 25% of students in Canada actually eat well less than the recommended daily intake of fruits and vegetables. So you know, it's something that the school board is trying to look at to increase the use of our students, getting students to eat more fruits and vegetables, and by allowing us or them class time to do that, it should be a step in the right direction. And I'm saying for the month of March, if it's something that we see it's very useful and students are availing of it, we certainly may look at that beyond the month of March. So if your child is not doing that, if they have not brought the information home to you, speak to them about it, and you know, obviously all benefits can come from eating more fruits and vegetables. A few things that's coming up in the next couple of 3 weeks. Obviously, provincial assessments. Students in grades 3 and 6 have already started provincial assessments. It's, I guess, the new word in the past was CRTs, Criterion Reference Tests. But grades 3 and 6 have started in English Language Arts. You get into later in May into June, back to 3, 6, and 9. We'll also be doing provincial assessments in English and in math. And if there's parents that have any questions on that, you can contact your child's teacher or certainly contact us here at the school. With back to the provincial assessments, just for another second or two, for the most part for grades 3 and 6, this doesn't have anything to do with their final grade as such, but we strongly encourage parents to work with their child, encourage them to do well. Don't be putting extra pressure on them. I know that seems to be the case that kind of comes with that. The results from that are analyzed next year, and a lot of information comes from that for us. But if we can encourage kids to do what's asked of them during the assessment time, that's as much really we can do. I know some teachers give them a little bit of extra material for some writing things or reading, or when we get into the math part in May, some of that may be done, but it's not to put the too much pressure on them. I want to stay away from that. With grade 9s, however, their math provincial assessment will be their final exam. That's written, I think, somewhere around the second week in June. For the English, it's a little bit different this year for grade 9s. That's going to be written about the third week in May, and that'll be a part of their final grade. So the pressure is on them to do well, I guess, for grade 9s. But again, the grade 3s and 6s, it would have no bearings on what they get on their report card for this year. But again, we do a lot of we take a lot of information from that when the results come back. Starting this week coming up, March 25th, 28th, is going to be Student Appreciation Week. We have a number of things planned that, if not already, will be given to students on Monday. But we have some Spirit Days for the 4 days. There's a recycling blitz. I'm going to say Tuesday, but that would put on TV real soon. I believe it is Tuesday. On Thursday, there's going to be some activities in the morning Thursday. There's a Fear Factor game. There's going to be a walk for autism. That may be around town after recess if the weather is suitable. If not, it'll be in the gym. And the afternoon on Thursday will be a math day. For the first thing in the morning, there will be a breakfast. Students in K to 6 will be served breakfast at 8:15. And then students in 7 to 12 will be served breakfast at 8:45. So we'll encourage all students to come out for breakfast and then enjoy the activities that morning and the math day in the afternoon. And obviously, Easter starts on Friday, so no school from Friday until, including the week after that. And students will be back in class on that Monday. For grade 9 parents, shortly after Easter, we'll be meeting with the students and parents to discuss courses for next year. And certainly that will be information will be given to the grade 9 students when that date is confirmed, and also information will be placed on Channel 62. It's also been confirmed for our Arts March program. That will go ahead from April the 22nd to the 26th. Fergus O'Byrne and Jim Payne will be here for that week, working with our students in music classes, some social studies classes and whatnot. They were here about 8 years ago. It was a program very well done, and I certainly expect the same this year. So I'm certainly looking forward to that, and I know that the kids will certainly enjoy it. Fergus and Jim will also be putting a concert off on February 26th. Now that's their own concert; it's not talking with the kids. 7:30, the 26th, that Friday night here at the school. Posters have been put up around town. The cost is $10, and the funding from that, 70% will go to them, 30% will come to the school. So I certainly encourage everyone to come out to watch what I'm sure is going to be a very nice concert, and again, to come out and support the school in their efforts, in Fergus and Jim's efforts of that night. As I mentioned, Easter starting on Friday, continuing into the week after that. I just want to let everyone know that the gymnasium will be closed over the Easter break, and this is for regular cleaning that occurs over Easter. The library will be open in its regular times. It may or may not be closed. That would put on TV, again, depending on the cleaning for that week. Our final closeout for the year will be April the 12th. That is the first Friday back after Easter break, so students will get an extra long weekend. And again, as I said, that's the last closeout for the year. We have some people coming in working with our teachers on that day. And then on that weekend, the weekend of the 12th and the following weekend of I think it's into the 18th and 19th, we've got our drama club as well as the girls floor hockey. They are traveling out on the dramas on the 12th and the girls floor hockey on the 13th. They're going to Codroy and Grandy's River respectively. And I think on the 20th, 19th or 20th, the boys floor hockey will be traveling for their regional tournament. So at this time, I want to wish 3 of those groups all the best. I'm sure they will represent our school really well, as they have, I say, forever, because we are known to excel in sportsmanship, and in recent years we have done well in regional tournaments, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that we will do the same now. The only thing I have left to mention is it's obviously that time of year where the weather is getting a little bit warmer, and it's not, I'm going to say, a real big issue with all students. It is an issue with some, and that is dress code. I've had some comments already from community members. Will say that I've had issues with, I guess, some of the dress code or the way some of our students are dressed. Again, this is only with a few students, but I just want to reiterate to everyone that we ask students to come to school dressed appropriately. It's difficult at times where that borderline is too. I cannot just write out, or we as teachers cannot write out, this is what's appropriate, this is what's not. If someone's coming in with belly button shirts on, male or female, I'll say shorts. When we get into June month, that is really, really short. Some of those things are obvious, but right now it seems like, and some of the boys, I'll say that their underwear are showing, so some of the jeans are riding down. I think that's inappropriate. Some of the girls, issues, I'll say, of bra straps showing. My comment on some things is some kids are wearing things that I would expect to see from adults at a club. And I think when it gets to that point, we got major issues there. Again, I will reiterate for the third time, it's not everyone, but I just want to let parents know that if we deem that your child is wearing something that's inappropriate, a call will be made home to either bring in extra clothing, or again, they could be asked to go home and change. So parents, please, when your kids leave for school, make sure they are dressed appropriately. I know I've had comments made to me that some students come to school and may be changing when they get here or on their way to school. Not too sure how that would happen, but again, I think if parents do their part in speaking to their child, and again, we will keep an eye out. It's a tough one for me, I'll say, as a male, when you've got a student in grades, I'll say grade 7, 8. It's those grades at the top of my mind. It's tough for me to say that they're dressing appropriately because this day and age, it is a difficult one to approach, and it's always in the back of my mind to be very careful on dealing with that. And I tell that to all my teachers, whether you're male or female. It is difficult. So if we all do our part, wear something that, like I said, fits within the school guidelines, whatever they are. I think that'll be okay. On that note, that ends it for me. As I said at the beginning, we have really 2 months of class time left. That's not a lot. For some students who have not, we'll say, settled down and are into doing some extra work, it's no time like now to start doing that. Before we know it, our final exams will be here. And, some of our students are are borderline on passing at this time, and as I said, a lot of time left. Do well in their final exams, and they can be very successful in all their courses and passing, obviously all students passing their grades. So wish you all the best, and I'm sure we will be chatting again very soon. Thank you.
This concludes our program for tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.